Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the next reaction in the series 3 episodes of the 100. This is episode 6. Last week we watched Tackle Dharma and I got a little bit angry. Just a little bit. I mean, there's some storylines right now that are frustrating me, but I am enjoying them, so don't worry if you're watching this thinking, why is he watching the show if all he does is get angry? Don't worry, I do enjoy the show and I am really enjoying the season. I just find some characters very frustrating. Anyway, what happened last episode? So Pike and his group killed Indra's lot of people and injured Indra. She was shot, but she seems to be surviving. And they basically said they're going to take out another group of grounders. They're going to make a radius around camp. I think it was a 15-mile radius, was it? There's another grounder camp that they're going to try and take out as well. Bellamy's still on board, even though there was little moments where he had a bit of a wobble and was like, oh, I think we're taking it a bit too far. But it didn't take long before Pike convinced him to carry on, and it was all good. So that was frustrating. Lincoln and any of the other grounders that were still in camp with them got locked up. Lincoln more so because he was sort of being seen as an equal to them, but also not at the same time. It was a bit of a dodgy one because he was obviously very defensive of the grounders, understandably, because the grounders haven't done anything wrong. At least the ones that were in camp were there to help them. And so he was defensive and he got locked up as well. But I know Miller was helping him a little bit. I am still hoping that Octavia will somehow save the day. Because she's obviously escaped from camp to try and help bridge a bit of peace. But then Lexa said, like, blood must not have blood. We're not going to retaliate. We're going to try peace. At the time, I didn't agree with it. I still don't, but I'm going to have to wait and see how that manifests in this episode. There was a bit of Murphy stuff, and there was these people that captured him saying they're waiting for him, and they saw the sacred symbol on the blue chip, which was also a big part of the other storyline, which was Jahar is now at Arcadia with A.L.I.E, and Otan got killed, but Jahar has now convinced Raven to take the blue chip, and now she's seen A.L.I and can no longer feel the pain on the leg, it appears like. So I'm hoping we get more of that and find out a bit more about how that all works. Very intriguing because it just doesn't feel, it feels very odd for the 100, this whole virtual world and how it takes pain away. But I'm actually still excited to see how it turns out. So let's jump into the episode. This episode is called Bitter Harvest, which I looked up on Google. And it says Bitter Harvest means to suffer or benefit as a result of past actions. So tonight we reap the bitter harvest of a decade of national indulgence, for example. So, to suffer or benefit as a result of past actions could mean anything on the 100. I mean, we're all pretty much suffering at the moment as a result of Pike's actions. So, let's see what happens in this episode, guys. Please let me know down below if you enjoy the videos and if you're enjoying this series and what your thoughts are on Series 3 so far. If this is the first time you're watching the channel, hi, my name's Scott. Please consider subscribing for the rest of Series 3. And there's also a Patreon link down below if you want to watch the full-length reaction to this episode. Let's jump into Series 3, Episode 6, Bitter Harvest.
Hey.
You alright, love?
It's okay. You're okay. What were you dreaming about? Commanders before me, they speak to me in my sleep.
That's a new thing.
Their deaths. A war. A ceasefire is not a betrayal. What you did on that battlefield stopped a war. Your legacy will be
Did it?
peace.
Because I don't imagine Pike's going to back down. It's like I like the sentiment of it all. It just feels like an odd, forced narrative.
I didn't realize you were busy.
What's in the box? What's in the box? What is in the box?
Are you going to tell me what's in the box or not?
Forgive me. This is a gift from King Rowan of Asgeda.
Oh.
One header.
Is there a person in the box?
Emerson.
Emerson. It's cool to see him again. I completely forgot about Emerson. After we saw him with Naya. I forgot he existed, to be fair.
Pike's detail is still at it. Soil and water samples.
Any idea what they're up to?
No, but considering how heavily they're armed, I don't think they want anyone to find out.
Soil and water samples.
Crap. There's a grounder kid. Hang
Are they
on.
gonna... Oh god. Don't kill a child.
Hello there.
Don't.
Don't be scared.
No. They're gonna kill you.
Venom! With me!
These people are awful. I kind of would forgive if grounds has attacked them, attacking them back fine. But hunting down to murder a child,
Split up.
and they just don't realise that they're worse than the grounders. Come on, kid. Come on. Come on. Yes.
Pupils aren't dilated.
It's all too happy.
God gave me the key to the city of light, Abby. Not drugs.
Abby's face is
Let's see what the
my
doctors
face, like.
say.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Thought you'd be happy for me. I am. It's just unusual for pain to subside this quickly.
Bet you didn't think you'd break the law together when you arrested me on the Ark, huh?
This isn't a game with me. If we don't find out what Pike's up to, more people will die.
Then let's not get caught.
Miller's very handsome, isn't he? Don't think I appreciate Miller enough, but he's just not in it very often.
Send them home.
They're a liability. Let them go. They'll tell their people what they know about us, our defenses and capabilities.
We're talking about Lincoln here.
No, we're talking about the enemy.
Not all grounders are the enemy.
Kane, we've been through this, all right? The election decided it.
Public opinion is a funny thing, Charles.
My job is to keep us safe, not to be liked.
And keep up the good work.
It's funny thinking back to like series 1 where I really, really didn't like Kane. And now I'm like, come on, Kane. Just take a knife and just right in Pike's throat. See, how is this not a cult?
We start with soybeans and corn. They grow the fastest.
Oh, okay.
What's wrong, Monty?
Like corn?
I've never had corn, actually. Is this where we're going?
That's right.
There's a village here. What about the people who live there?
Sector 4. We talked about this. The people there are not a threat.
We need that land. With the loss of Mount Weather's resources, Arcadia will be starving in less than a year.
Oh, okay, so that's what they did samples for, to see where's good to cultivate and
All due respect, sir.
The commander's message was clear.
give you a big slap
Blood
across the
must
face.
not have blood. That doesn't mean we can start taking
What
it.
would you prefer? Die fighting for your home or starve to death?
We'll do what needs to be done.
Oh, bleh. I feel like my face this season's just going to be that everything that happens with that storyline.
I believe he deserves death.
She can speak for herself, Titus.
Titus is right.
He was behind the assassin and the bomb. He's not going to do it again.
It's human nature to need vengeance.
So blood must not have blood applies. Only when it is my people who bleed.
That was about stopping a war. This is about finishing one. I'm sorry, but if you want my advice, I agree with Titus.
Maybe if you just talk to your brother.
My brother is on the wrong side.
So then we don't even try.
What do you think happens when Lexa finds out that Sky Crew massacred another Grounder village?
Yeah.
War. More dead friends.
Stop the attack. Stop a war.
We'd like you to do a job for us.
Uh-oh.
Name it. I've been looking for something for a long time. Searching for it in scavenged technology. It's one of the reasons we came to Arcadia first. I
Okay.
believe that version 2 of my code is somewhere in the computer system of the Ark.
Version 2.
Why did there need to be a version 2? Was there something wrong with you?
Nothing's wrong.
No offense. I'm just saying programmers and engineers generally don't go to a version 2 unless there is.
Raven.
Don't gaslight her.
Of course.
It will likely be a dormant program. That or an unfinished one. If you can gain me access to the mainframe, I can search for and download any residual code.
Oh, she's up to no
Like a
good.
plan, See you on the other side.
I didn't like what they just did to Raven then. That shows why I keep saying it's a cult.
Why would you not tell her the truth about me?
John Murphy knew the truth, and we lost him, remember?
You know, that looks a lot like our past.
We are building a life here. Not trying to make peace. people who only understand war.
Damn right.
Oh, shush.
Where the hell have you been? I lost the damn horse. Actually, the horse lost me, but I'm glad you're okay. I wish you didn't have to go.
Is that Miller's boyfriend?
Today, Brian.
I didn't know.
Didn't call us. Yeah. Hey, careful, please.
Oh, I feel bad for Miller because like he just got his boyfriend back, if that is his boyfriend, and his boyfriend's on the wrong side, in my eyes. Was on Pike's team, and that can't be easy.
But I'm here to warn you that the soldiers who did that are coming here now. They want your land.
Don't think they're gonna listen
and
to
they will
her.
kill all of you to get it. You need to leave this place right now.
Are you threatening us?
I was gonna say, it doesn't sound like a threat, but it does sound like just they don't know. It does sound like, how do you word it? Like that she's trying to get them to leave so they can take over. But obviously she's just trying to help. Oh, it's the kid.
I'd say it's not drug-induced.
But how is the chip doing all this?
You look disappointed.
No. Surprised.
And we've all been through so much that it's hard to recognize hope. Even when it's right in front of us.
Has he taken a chip?
In case you haven't noticed, they're not kids anymore.
Nope.
With Clark gone, Bellamy's the key. I've been trying to reach him, but Pike's influence is strong. He really believes he's doing the right thing. What was that?
Let's call it hope.
Okay. Does Abby want a piece of that gain? D.
Why would the second AI be in space?
My creator thought she needed a more secure work environment.
So did you go too?
No, I was the reason she wanted a more secure environment.
She?
381 people. 182 men. 173 women. 26 children. 2 of them are mine.
I mean, it makes his anger a lot more understandable if it had lost his kids as well.
I don't want mercy. I want revenge. I want you to suffer the same way that I've suffered.
Completely understandable, to be fair.
You can kill me, Clark. You can never escape what you did.
Pain is pain.
Pain is pain. Your scars run deep, Jasper.
See on the other side.
Am I interrupting?
It's a silicon-based device. Once ingested, the filaments reconstitute in the brain stem and interrupt pain receptors, inhibiting certain neural pathways from firing.
Doesn't sound good. Long term.
With Key.
Would you mind if I run some trials on it? Would you have given it to Wells without testing it first?
Wells?
Your son.
Well, that was creepy.
Yes. Yes. Of course.
Jasper, I need a minute, please.
Can I have that back?
Ooh, that was
Now.
telling.
We cannot let her stop us.
Don't worry, Thelonious.
No, I knew he was part of it.
I'll keep an eye on
I told you. There was something about the way he was talking to her. I knew he was part of it. Come on, Octavia.
Take your good.
What's happening? Okay, I was going to say, if you kill off Monty, but let these people live, I'd have just turned off and not watched the next episode ever again.
No. I don't know if your death would bring me peace. I just know I don't deserve it.
This man must die. If Sky Crew will not take his life, then hell will.
Netta will speak for herself. Enough, Titus.
What the hell is this?
I wouldn't be killing you for what you've done. I'd be killing you for what I've done.
I mean, that is true.
I run Disha FM Son round up.
This prisoner is banished from my
I
lands.
think he wanted to die a little
He
bit.
will live, but he will live with the ghosts of those he has lost.
No. He's lost
Haunted
everything.
Until the end of his days, by the knowledge that he is the last of his kind.
We need to talk about your sister. 2 of our people died today because of her.
Oh, 2.
Not to mention the ash poisoned the soil, making the land useless.
The Grounders did that. Octavia tried to warn us.
Yes, after she warned them.
She's going to try and take Octavia out now. You touch my girl. Pike.
Kane. You have no proof. You need to find me some.
There's no trace of A.L.I.E.'s code or anything like it on the Ark.
You were sure?
I remain certain that Becca went into space.
Becca?
Unfortunately, it appears that she wasn't on any of the 12 stations.
13.
There's 13 stations?
13.
Since when?
The Ark was made up of 12 stations, that's true. But there were supposed to be 13.
That's because it was scrubbed.
Blowing a space station out of the sky to get others to join isn't exactly an inspirational Unity Day story.
No, hold on. Wait, just listen to me, okay? Listen.
Okay.
But it was called
Oh.
Polaris.
Polaris. Okay. Okay, guys, that was my reaction to Series 3, Episode 6, Bitter Harvest. And luckily, it's the first episode in a few episodes that I've come away from the show without feeling very angry. I mean, there's still things that annoyed me. Pike's still an annoying character, but I feel a lot calmer this time walking away from it. So, let's take each storyline one at a time. Let's go with Pike's one because, get it out of the way. His character's just very one-note, and I think that's where I struggle with him. Even with a lot of villains, whether you like them or not, when they're quite layered, they can be interesting to watch, and you never know how they're going to react to something, or they're quite unpredictable. Whereas Pike is just, as I've said multiple times, essentially a metaphor of a racist, and it's just Grounders versus us versus everybody. Everybody has to die, and there's just no depth to it, which is where I struggle to get on board with him. Like even Cage, I as much as I hated Cage, there was depth to why he was doing what he was doing. Pike, he's just very one note, very 2D. There's no 3 dimensions to him. It's just basic. And so I don't know how that can sustain a whole season. So whether it does last another 10 episodes or not, we'll have to wait and see. Going to wipe out the other Grounder camp. Whatever. I'm glad that they didn't. But it's that bittersweet thing. Like, they managed to not wipe out the Grounder camp. The Grounders got to attack them. And it killed 2 people. But I knew straight away that they would interpret that as, this is proof why we need to do what we're doing. Grounders are evil because they killed 2 of us. And that's how flawed their logic is, because you just massacred 300 of them. You tried to massacre more of them. And they killed 2 people to kind of defend themselves. And that's proof why you have to do what you're doing. It's so flawed and it's so annoying logic. That narrow-minded logic where if someone from a certain race does something bad, or someone with a certain sexual orientation commits a crime or whatever, it proves to these people that all of them are the same, type of person. And it's just painting everyone with the same brush, and it bothers me. So I'm glad that Octavia managed to save the Grounders, although obviously they didn't really trust her, and it seems like they've captured her as well now. Bellamy looks like he's going to go after Kane to try and get proof that Kane's the mole, so that they can essentially probably kill him off. And then they're going to go after Octavia. And I just felt that Bellamy can't see what's the manipulation is bothering me. Because it's like, I understand grief probably spurred parts of it. And his history with Pike, which someone on Patreon filled me in on. But when you're turning against all of your own people, when even Bellamy himself says, not all grounders are like this. Why are we doing this? It's too far. But he still goes along with it. That's where I'm struggling to find some sort of understanding in Bellamy's actions. Like if Bellamy fully believed in everything that the Pike was saying, I would maybe kind of go, oh, you know what? I don't like what he's doing, but I understand it. But Bellamy's also agreeing that grounders aren't all the same. But it's still going along with it. Annoying, whatever. Monty's mum, she can go away. I don't like that Monty's going along with it. But I feel like there's a lot of pressure there for him to do it. And we don't really know where his head's at. He's not said a lot recently. But Miller's boyfriend's also part of it, which makes things really complicated for Miller, which I hope they dive into a bit more as well. Because that could be a really fascinating storyline. I think that could be very fascinating to dive into, and I hope they do at some point in the season. Also, because I'll let see more of Miller. Yes, he's very handsome. But also, as I think, as a character, he's been in the background for 2 and a bit seasons. It's good to get a bit more of him. Like with Eric, which I'll get to that story in a moment. It's nice to see a bit more of the character. The Lexus storyline of Clark and Emerson was quite interesting. It was nice to see Emerson again. Not that I like the character particularly, but just because it was always like an open-ended thing from season 2. He disappeared at the end. He was in it briefly when Nia showed up, and then he disappeared again. So it's cool to see him. Where I'm struggling with that storyline as well is Clark's seems to change her mind a lot, and it's odd. It's a little annoying, to be fair. That one minute she's like, blood must not have blood, then she wants to kill Emerson, then she wants to save him. And I get she's conflicted, and she doesn't really know what she wants. But she's got that much power that at least someone like Lexa, most of the time, makes the decision and sticks to it. She knows what she wants, she has her guns, and she sticks to them. Whereas Clark just changes a lot, and for someone who's in such a position of power, it's annoying. And I can understand why Titus and other people are getting frustrated with her, because it's like, she's this one-hater, she's really powerful, she's the leader of the 13th clan, although the 13th people aren't part of that deal anymore. She's this position of power, and yet she's, blood must not have blood, let's kill them, let's not kill them, I'm going to let him go. You know, she needs to kind of get a bit more focused and decide where she wants to be, what side of the fence she wants to be on, and hopefully over the next season, few episodes, that will manifest a bit more. But I get from a TV point of view, you need to have this main character who plays devil's advocate at times. She sees things from both sides of you. She gives you this is why I think we should do this, and then, oh no, we should do it this way. And it kind of lets the audience make their own decision about what should happen, and then obviously she does whatever she wants to do. So I get that sort of role is necessary for a TV show to kind of give the audience that kind of choice. Clark's this all-powerful person, and yet doesn't really know what to do with that power, I suppose. And at the moment, I'm still not on board with the blood must not have blood. Again, I don't know what the solution is, because I don't think war solves things. And it is a cycle. Like the show said multiple times, it's an endless cycle of killing and death and murder. So I agree that an ending that is good. Maybe just not right now, when you've got a gang of people who are trying to take out all of you eventually. Like blood must not have blood is a great motto, but the foundations need to be laid for that to exist and to be a thing. It doesn't just happen like, you don't make that decision and that's it. You need to kind of have meetings and agreements, and everyone needs to be on the same sort of page, you know? Like Pike's pretty much said from the start, you can say blood must not have blood, I don't give a toss. But what I did like about this episode is it had a lot more development of the A.L.I.E storyline with Jaha. Murphy's a part of it as well now. Jasper's a part of it. Raven's a part of it. And the more I watch it, the more it's definitely a cult. And for that reason, I'm really enjoying it. Even though I'm still of the mindset that it doesn't feel... It feels like a storyline from a different TV show, you know? Because this show has always been about war and different tribes on Earth trying to live together, and the relationships and the friendships and the loyalties and the betrayals. This whole virtual world that's controlled by these blue chips and this AI character feels so different that I'm still don't fully know how it fits into the 100, which I know sounds like a really weird statement to make. I'm enjoying it. It feels so different from everything else that's come before. But I'm really fascinated by what's happening, and obviously we saw how quickly Raven's now on board with it, trying to convert other people, like Jasper's trying to become a part of it, almost. Eric's now a part of it, and I knew that scene when he was talking to Abby about, we've got hope now, there was something in the way he said it, which is great from the actor's point of view, that I picked up on that. Like, I'm really impressed with that, because he's such a minor character that we don't really see a lot of him, but the fact that he had a couple of lines and I was like, something's not wrong, is a credit to the actor. I give him a lot of credit for that. But there was something like a twinkle in his eye, the way he spoke, maybe the inflection in his voice. I was like, is he part of this now? And he was. It was revealed that he was, and that's cool. Because I'm really liking Abby, that she's the one standing up to this, because she's very medical and very scientific, and I like how she's trying to approach it, even though they don't fully trust her. She knows that the best way to approach it from their point of view is to go, I'm not trying to stop you. I'm not trying to get in the way. I just want to know from a scientific point of view, what does this chip do and what's happening here on this day. And I like that she's phrased it that way, because that's a very intelligent way to do it, because it's kind of letting them get their guard down a little bit, enough to them to let you have that chip. And yeah, they explained some silicone gets in the way, messes with your brain a little bit, gets in the way of receptors, which is really dangerous. Because it gets, well, they said it gets in the way of pain receptors, right? Which is dangerous in itself, because if you can't feel pain, then we know being human, pain is necessary. Like, if I put my hand on a flame, it needs to hurt for me to know, stop doing that. So if they can't feel pain, physical or mental, that's really bad. But then, that really amazing twist, just that one line, when she mentioned, would you give this to Wells? And he just went, Wells? Amazing. I love that. Was such a good moment, because I was like, oh my god, I get it a bit more now. I understand why everyone's jumping on board, because it's not about making your pain go away. It's about making you forget why you're in pain in the first place, which I know is a form of making your pain go away, but that's really dangerous. That is like brainwashing level craziness. The fact that he forgot who his son was now makes me like Jaha a bit more, because it's not like he just turned against everyone that he worked with and came down to earth for and everything that he stood for. It's that he took this chip thing when he went into that mansion in the end of series 2, and they made him forget who he was in a form, you know. And I'm really excited to know. I want to know more. I love this storyline, as weird as it is. I love it. I want to know more about this Becca and what was it? I've forgotten it already. The ship that was the 13th station. I'm a little confused about that. When I put this on Patreon, please, guys, let me know. I'm a little lost on. So there was a 13th station that was scrubbed from like the records, but it still existed, and that 13th station was a part of this A.L.I.E program before the Ark went to space, and on that station is A.L.I.E 2.0, or Becca, I think we called it. Is that right? At this stage, is that what I meant to be meaning? And that 13th thing that was scrubbed when they blew up the Ark crash landed into Earth, and that's where Murphy was. Where Murphy's at the end, we saw the little capsule thing. I'm a little confused. So yeah, please let me know. We can let me know on YouTube as well. I just know that this will be up a few weeks before YouTube, so on Patreon. But yeah, I was a little not putting the pieces together for that. But it is interesting. I want to know what A.L.I.E 2.0 is, what her goal is, because obviously we know A.L.I.E 1.0 decided that Earth was too populated and nuked the place. So where do we go from here? What does 2.0 want? Like I say, is she going to try and wipe out the Earth again? What's the plan? What is the plan? But I am really fascinated to know more. I'm loving that storyline. I just want to watch more. I can't now because the light's about to go. It's pretty late. It's like 7 o'clock at night, so the light's about to go. And yeah, I really enjoyed the episode. That was really good. That made me really excited to watch the next one. After the last couple of episodes with how annoyed I was just like putting off watching the next ones, because I'm stressed enough at life without this show adding stress into my mental space, you know. But this one really has given me the boost to watch more. I'm really excited. Let me know down below, guys, some of the questions that I had, some of the answers, but please without spoilers. We've had enough spoilers for this season already. But yeah, please let me know. Did I get it right? With the little things I mentioned about A.L.I.E in the 13th station, is that right? But also, don't spoil what's to come and the purpose of the virtual world. I don't want to know yet. So Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Please let me know what you thought. As always, my name is Scott. Hope you guys are well. Take care of yourselves and stay safe. If you enjoyed the video, please let me know down below in the comments your thoughts, and also if you're enjoying the series so far. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and I'll see you all very soon for the next episode of the 100 Series 3. Bye, guys.